Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for Teen Wolf Season 3, Episode 1, Tattoo. This was an incredible season premiere, I gotta say. There was some stuff in here that kind of annoyed me, but then there was a lot of really cool stuff in here. And I do think it's going to be a very interesting season premiere, season, because as we know, they have 20 episodes a season. I think they're going to do what Awkward is doing. They're just going to split it into two, because as we know, Awkward is getting down to the wire. It's not the season finale. It's only a summer finale. I think they're returning sometime in the fall, so they will be back in the fall, but they're going to be on hiatus for now. They'll probably come back in August. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're going to take a break in July and then come back in August. That's really what they're going to do. And with Teen Wolf, I think they're going to stretch it out as well. I hope they do. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is Scott and Allison. In the very beginning, we see that Scott is getting this tattoo, and Styles is trying to figure out why he wants this tattoo so much. And Scott says how, we find out that the word tattoo, I think it was in Swahili, means burned skin, I think. Yeah. And then he gets this very bad wound on his hand, and it turns out that it's because he's a werewolf, it's even worse. So he doesn't want this tattoo anymore. He wants it gone. And in the meantime, we're seeing that him and Allison, he really wants to get back together with her, and he feels really foolish for not saying anything to her. And we can see that she's moving on. We can tell she's not over him, but she's trying to do the best she can to just avoid him. And I'm gonna say I don't really love this Allison and Lydia storyline, mainly because of Lydia. I think Lydia is driving me nuts. Honestly, I loved Lydia last season, and I've loved her, when her and Jackson were fighting in Season 1, she was kind of an annoying character in Season 1. Season 2, though, she really matured, and I really liked the Jackson and Lydia relationship. And there was no mention of Jackson very much at all, except that they broke up somehow. I don't remember what she said about her and Jackson. But we see that Lydia pretty much doesn't want... Lydia does not want a boyfriend. She wants someone to hook up with. She wants someone to get her over Jackson. Just take Styles. He's right in front of you. I don't understand. Styles, by the way, was funny as hell as ever in this episode. Like that scene with him and Scott of him saying, "You can't get a tattoo, it's gonna hurt," and then him saying it's gonna pinch for a second, and then him saying why does this hurt so much? He said, "Well, you just got your skin ripped out. It's kind of supposed to hurt." I thought that was really funny. It's why Styles is one of my favorite characters on this show. Maybe my favorite character. I'm not sure though. But pretty much what happens is, from here what happens is we see that, there's a whole bunch of these things happening. First of all, I want to talk about the new teacher. I like this new teacher. I think she's going to be a very interesting teacher. Why was she writing on a chalkboard, though? This is the 21st century. My school does not have a chalkboard. We have what's called a starboard. So we have a starboard. I don't know why she was writing on a chalkboard, because they don't really have much of those in, they might have them in high school, but I've never been to high school, but I don't think they have many chalkboards around anymore. I don't really think they do. But I do have to say that I like this teacher. I think she's going to be a very fair teacher. She doesn't seem like a very strict teacher, and I think it'll be an interesting storyline to see what happens, because as we know, Scott was very late to a lot of classes last year, and he really wants to be a man of his word, and he wants to improve it, and she wants him to be a man of his word as well. So I think that he really needs to stick by his word, and I really hope he does, because that's going to be a really cool storyline to see with this teacher, because it's going to be very different, something I don't think we've ever seen on Teen Wolf before, with him trying to help out a teacher, trying to show the teacher that he really does care, and I think that's pretty interesting. The other thing I'm going to talk about, of course, is when he visited the hospital with his mother. As we see, she is tending to Isaac, but as we can tell, she is not used to, werewolf stuff. In the season finale, if you guys didn't see it, which I'm sure you have seen the season finale by now because they aired it before this episode. If you haven't, why are you watching this review if you haven't seen season finale? But she found out that Scott was a werewolf, and now she's trying to tend to Isaac, and there are these invisible wounds because he's a werewolf. And now that she knows about it, she can see it, and it's very hard for her. And then we see how they're kind of, These doctors, though, are not what they seem to be, because we see Scott go over to his mother's job. And when his mother's there, we see how she kind of is trying to figure out what's going on. We see this blind patient, and then he takes off his glasses and his scarf and becomes a doctor. But we don't really know what he is. Honestly, I think he's going to be like the big villain of the season. I think there could be quite a few villains of the season, because as we know, there is a new Alpha Pack, and I think he's going to be part of the new Alpha Pack. We don't really know much because they didn't really tell us anything in this episode. And I like that they didn't give too much away, but it really drove me nuts. Why did that man look, that man looked sadistic. He didn't look legit at all, so obviously he's not a doctor. Well, I mean, he's not a doctor, but what is he? Is he a werewolf? Is he, some kind of a, I don't know. What is he? Is he the next Kanema? I really hope we don't get another Kanema, because honestly, the Kanema was cool, but can we not have a repeated storyline? I don't want another Kanema. So then the other thing that I really want to talk about is, of course, the ending was really, really cool. We see that Derek, Isaac, Styles, and Scott are kind of trying to form this bond to stop this new Alpha Pack, because they have Erica and Boyd. We don't know where Erica and Boyd are. They're going to try to find them. I really hope they find Erica and Boyd, because they added so much to the show, I think. I think they were so great last season. And I really like that Styles is kind of going to get, I mean, he always gets involved, but he's really going to get involved this time. And I like that they made Isaac a main character. So I really enjoyed that, and I thought that was really interesting how all that happened. And I really, really enjoyed that. So the last scene I thought was really good. Also, who's that black African-American girl? Who is that girl? I don't know who that girl is. She was with Isaac the whole episode, but I don't know who that is. Yeah, but I don't really want to talk about her because I don't know who she is. So now I want to get to Allison. As I said, she's trying to, ignore Scott pretty much. And, oh, by the way, we find out the meaning to Scott's tattoo is that it means, as I said, burning flesh. And how he only got the tattoo because he wasn't over Allison. He feels terrible that he didn't call Allison or to even try to talk to her. Even when she went by his house, he didn't even say hello. And I think that's stupid, because Scott and Allison are like one of my TV power couples. Like, they're one of my #1 couples. Like, I'm very upset that they're not together, because they were so great together last year. It was kind of like this Romeo and Juliet relationship. Or they said on the special last week, on the Back to the Pack special, they said it's kind of like this Romeo and Juliet relationship with Allison as Juliet and Scott as Romeo, and them trying to pretty much, and I like that her father's kind of trying to help her out, and he says how if it's too hard for you, you don't need to go the first day, and she decides she does. And as I said, I like that Lydia and Allison are BFFs now. I just don't like the way this is going. There are these two shirtless guys, and not shirtless, but there are these two guys who come, and just as Lydia sees them, we see that before she had sex with another man, and how he said, do you want to have sex again? And then she just left on him, and that was it. And at this point, we see that there are these two men walking by, and Lydia says how I want one of them. And we can see that Allison's kind of turned on by them as well. I don't like this. I don't like seeing Allison flirt with other men. I don't like seeing Lydia as this slut. But honestly, they're going to turn Lydia into a slut, and it's really bad that they're doing that, because I don't like using that word, but it's true. They're going to end up turning her into this slutty character, honestly. And I think that's because of the fact that, I don't think it's a good idea, because Lydia was a really, Holland Roden is a really good actress, and she was really good last season, and getting rid of Jackson was the worst mistake they could have made, honestly. We had such a big thing with her last season, with her healing Jackson and controlling him, that we didn't, and now we're not going to get any of that. I really hope that, he returns one day, so we can see more of this, because I really don't like this storyline with Lydia. I don't like it. Most of it I don't like, because she can just go to Styles, and pretty much Styles is trying to help her out pretty much, and we see how they're in the class, and he asked her what happened to your foot because she was bitten by her dog, but as you remember last season, she was bitten by another animal, a wolf, I think, And he says, and then she says how, well, once, 2 times, 3 times. Then we see all these birds fly out the wall. This was an incredible scene. I think this is the best scene of the episode. I think everyone will agree with me. There were these birds flying through the wall, blood splatter everywhere. They kill everyone. They hurt a whole bunch of people, and it's very dangerous. And it was nuts. What are those birds there for? Is it the birds out? Is it Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds now? I mean, that was crazy. You never know with this show, what twists and turns this show is going to get. And I think that was fantastic the way they did that. That was just really, really good. And I really loved the way that all worked because I thought that was really, really incredible. The way they tried to get all those birds out. And, you know, Lydia and Styles pretty much very close to each other. I just don't like what's going to happen to Lydia. It looks like Styles is going to end up flirting with someone new, which I think will be interesting to see. But I mean, he likes Lydia. They've kind of abandoned it, and I really hope they don't abandon that storyline. He likes Lydia. We've known from the beginning that Styles has a major crush on Lydia, and that she, I think, kind of likes him too, but she's just shy to say it, and she doesn't want to be this kind of person. She just wants to get over Jackson and do whatever she can, but she's doing it completely in the wrong way. And I just don't like the way that's going. That's the only thing that pissed me off about this episode was Lydia. And honestly, Holland Roden is such a great actress. She doesn't usually piss me off, but she really pissed me off in this episode. And I do like that she's trying to live a normal high school life. I just don't like that she's trying to be this slutty girl. I don't like that. So, as I said, this was the only other thing I'm going to complain about is the lack of Derek. I didn't really love that, because Derek is a very major part of the show, and he was, like, the main villain. Maybe they're not going to give him as much screen time. I hope that's not the case, because I love it when Scott and Derek work together, because they're really, you know, great partners, I think, and they work really well together. So I really hope that they don't just abandon this, and, I just really hope that this all continues and that he's in more. And I think it's going to be a good season. I think it could be one of the best seasons. I just really hope that Lydia doesn't end up flirting with all these men and not even, you know, getting their phone number or anything, just going to have sex with them. I think that's really stupid. Let me know what you thought of this season premiere. I thought it was a pretty good season premiere other than Lydia. You know, what do you think of Lydia's storyline? Do you think they're just making her do really stupid things? And it's not her fault because Colton Kangs, as we know, left the show. You know, as Jackson left the show. Do you like that Allison is kind of just trying to ignore Scott? I don't like that either. What do you think of the whole Scott tattoo storyline? What do you think is going to happen with this new Alpha Pack? Just an incredible season premiere, and I really loved it. Other than Lydia, it gets a 9.5 out of 10. It was a really, really good episode. So that's it for my review of Season 3 Tattoo. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be Music Tuesday. So see you then. Bye!